Hey everybody, it's Aidan here once again, and welcome to another edition of Storytime, the YouTube series that brings you the weird, wonderful, wacky, and gotta be alert on a street circuit stories from the real world of motorsport. Okay, that's not strictly true, since today's Storytime is from the simulated world of motorsport, but still involves real racing drivers. And one YouTuber. Today, I've got the full story of how a YouTuber who isn't known for sim racing content beat 39 professional racing drivers at Zandvoort. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, or you wear a tinfoil hat to go about your day, you'll notice that 2020 is slightly different to other years that you'll have lived through. We're all stuck inside because of something I have to call Dat Boy to avoid demonetization, since YouTube assumes all videos about Dat Boy are conspiracy theory nutjob videos, or just flat out fake news. So football, hockey, baseball and other sports, including motorsport, have all shut down temporarily. And racing drivers are racing on a Saturday afternoon in events held by The Race to keep us entertained while we're stuck inside. So imagine my surprise when I was called one Thursday afternoon with the question, "You want to be part of the race thing?" What? Commentating? With Jack Nichols? No. Driving. Okay. Where at? And what car? Can't tell you till tomorrow. Yeah, alright, I'll do it. Turns out it was the Nürburgring and the Norma LMP3, which are two things I don't particularly get on with. Now obviously, I'm not the first YouTuber to do this. Jimmy Broadbent and Super GT did it, but they only did a couple of events before they went off to do other things. Plus, I think they were getting hacked off with being served up every single corner they went into. And I know that feeling, trust me. But I actually enjoyed myself. I didn't finish last, and they invited me back. So here we are in Season 2. Now the main thing for this season is, instead of the pros and the sim racers racing separately, then going to one final race based on the best results, I think it was the top 5 or whatever, they don't do that anymore. The pros and the sim racers are separate, and they don't meet anymore. Unless you're Mike Epps or Dennis Lind, obviously. The other cool thing is that we get to run our own liveries on our cars, because racing drivers need sponsors to go racing. And this is my livery, on the Formula Renault 3.5, which has to be called Formula Race on broadcasts for legal reasons. And this was put together by Matt Richards, who drives for Zansho Simsport, which is the team I drive for also. Hence, in association with Zansho at the start of my videos. Zansho is also a media cooperative company, I think, so if you need some professionally made video stuff for business or your racing league or whatever it may be, you know, give Ed a call. Livery looks kick-ass as well. Very mid-90s Williams. Love it. So the format of the event is pretty simple. 39 professional racing drivers and one YouTuber go out and get 5 minutes in a qualifying session to set their best time. And then we race for 10 laps or so. Then we have a second race with a reverse grid, but only the top 32 get reversed, since people might be tempted to sandbag in order to guarantee themselves a pole position for race 2. Now I'm not very good at qualifying. I'm awful. I initially qualified 30th, which isn't bad, and then I dropped to 32nd, which means pole position for race 2. Like I tweeted at the time, no pressure then. So, into the race, and I can actually use footage without getting copyright claim to fuck this time. So I'm on pole with W Series driver Bejke Visser in second and Juan Manuel Correa in third. So, lights go out, dump the clutch, and try to make a getaway, but a bit sluggish to be honest. Now heading into turn 1, I was a bit of an idiot and took it way too easy on the cold tyres, and Correa swings it round the outside. Now I don't know if he cut in too early or I just understeered a bit, but he made contact with me, and that boffed me into Visser, that's centering towards the pit wall. So here it is from Visser's point of view. She tries to launch it up the inside of me. And then, whoops, boff, smack, and, oh, hello, Devlin De Francesca. Oh, okay. Oh, that's not good. Ow, that was, that was Anthony Davidson. And Esteban Gutierrez, no, oh, that's the Formula Renault breeding program, okay. That's not good. DRS was activated pretty early, it has to be said, and the drivers took full advantage down the pit straight with the activation point just as you come off the banking. That's Kevin Hansen going around the outside of Aston Martin driver Maxime Martin, doing exactly what Correa did to me around the outside of Turn 1. Turns out these pros are pretty good. At least with fixed setups I could keep up. Turn 1 and the chicane were the only real overtaking points because, as you're about to see, the dirty air on these cars is filthy. It's all downforce with these things, no mechanical grip whatsoever. And because of that dirty air, it meant it was very difficult for those who started at the back for race 2 to get back up the field. Anthony Davidson was stuck in 23rd with a banged up car to boot, but he was still able to keep the Williams car behind him. Race 1 winner Esteban Gutierrez had the same problem, but it didn't stop him launching one at the inside for the chicane. Augustin Canapino must have shit himself. But then Gutierrez had it all to do again, as Davidson tried the Correa method into Turn 1. They made contact, AC hit the inside wall, came back out across, hit Gutierrez, and almost like myself and Philip Eng at Malaysia, synchronised spinning. At least Aidan managed to spin the car around without hitting anything. Oh, that was close. Bank corners make overtaking easier, it seems, as Nicky Thiem put one on his Aston Martin teammate Charlie Eastwood, as Eastwood tried to get past Job van Uytert at his home race. But back up the front of the field, I was still able to keep with Juan Manuel Correa as we started lap number 5. DRS Zone was able to keep us pulling away from those behind as they battled, as you can see in the background there. Bruno Spengler was trying to get past James Paul, and James Paul was making it very difficult for him. The fact it's difficult to overtake makes being a slow driver less of a disadvantage. And the fixed setup made going through Turn 3 shit yourself scary every single time. But this bit over the back was fun. Flat out, in dirty air, then you got to fling it into the long right-hander without understeering off, as that aero wash just eliminates your ability to turn in. I mean, look, he pulls away. Come back! Bear in mind as well that Correa is still driving with only one leg. He's only got the use of his left leg, and he's leading a race. How? That's talent right there. But coming out of this long left-hander, which I absolutely hated, you get a short DRS zone, which kept me in a chance of getting past him, but just nowhere near close enough to try and dive bomb into the chicane. Not that I'd risk it, because I'd only screw it up. This is pretty much a lap of the new Zandvoort. It's actually quite a good track. Formula 1's still going to be terrible when they go there, though. At the end of that same lap, Bruno Spengler decided he was bored of seeing the back of James Paul's car, and swung it round the outside of Turn 1. Probably the best move of the race, because he didn't hit anything. And held it. And now everybody else wanted a stab at James Paul. So it was now Correa in first, myself in second, and then Spengler in third. But then on the next lap, a dose of luck, as Correa made a mistake in Turn 4, lost traction, and I went through. I mean, just about though. Luckily Bruno wasn't able to get by either, and the next corner was dirty air central, so I was just about able to hold the lead. Great racing though. So here it is in slow-mo. Correa makes his mistake, I'm still going, holding my line because no time to react. But then Correa comes back across, and I'm still holding my line. There's a boff. And I get sent onto the exit curb, still holding my line. And this is where I lose it on the curb slightly. I correct to make sure I don't spin. Correa's still coming. There's another boff on the rear axle. So I'm turning away to avoid hitting him again. And it puts me into the path of Spengler, and I managed to hold him off. Totally coincidental. At least that's what I'm telling the stewards anyway. So here he is at regular speed. Correa loses control. I go round. Bonk. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, whew. I survived. At least that's what I was thinking in my head. As well as effing and jeffing a lot. And here's the view looking back. That's Bruno Spengler. DTM driver filling my mirrors. In a BMW liveried car. Should be used to BMW drivers driving up my backside. Then Chinese driver Yifei Ye tried this at the chicane, locking up both wheels in the process. Yifei Ye? More like Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. It then looked like Correa was starting to struggle on his tyres, because he was leading an impatient queue around Zandvoort. In the background, you can just about see Yippee-yay's move. We're about midway through the final lap now, with Spengler just about 0.4 of a second, 0.3 of a second behind me. At this point, it was just keep the car on the track. I knew that Spengler would have a hard time getting past, and I just had to bring the car home. Once I was through that penultimate corner, that was pretty much it. There was no way he was going to get past. Dirty Air was pretty bad through that corner as well, so, well, I mean, that's a missed apex right there. That didn't help matters. Just tried to get the power down, up through the gears, drop it into fourth, swing it in, and as I came off that exit curb, I knew I'd won. So let's see what Jack and Jolie made of it.
Final lap of the race. Aidan Millward leading the way. Spengler second, Correa third. Spengler's just 0.3 of a second behind race leader Millward, but I don't think he's going to have the opportunity to make the move. Oh, there was a bit of a Larry one. And that is Yippee-yay getting past, and Ingram gets a place, and Ingram gets another place. Suddenly Tom Ingram finds himself in 6th position. Aidan Millward, though, through the final corner, is going to win the reverse grid race in the Pro Cup. Bruno Spengler finishing in 2nd place. And Juan Manuel Correa finishing in...
Yeah, Jolie, and I was a bit happy. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Yeah, so, Jimmer won the Indy 500 that same day. And yeah, he did. Fair play to him. That's quite the achievement. I'm the story time guy. And I've only been doing competitive sim racing for about a month or so. Okay, I do iRacing, and I did do a video where I went, hey, I won in iRacing, so let's rephrase that. I've only been doing organised league racing rather than pickup racing for about a month. Also, my best result up until that point was 18th at Malaysia in race 1. And I kept ending up being wrong place at the wrong time at every point after that. Then factor in that this was all live on ESPN and Eurosport as well as on YouTube. Once you factor in the bigger picture here, it's insane to think that I did it. And to cap it all off, I had a text message from Juan and Bruno saying congratulations afterwards, as well as a couple of the other drivers. Weird to think then that a throwaway video on the Andrea Moda team has led me here. Fucking mental. Aidan Millward can't handle a sim? Yes, he can. There'll probably be a very long wait before the next one, though. So this has been the full story of how I somehow beat a bunch of professional racing drivers. If you've enjoyed this video and learned something new about sim racing and what it is, then give this video a like. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe so you get all the latest. Massive thanks, as always, go out to my patrons on Patreon for their continued support. And if you wish to join them, or just join in everything else social media-wise, then the links you need are in the description box for you. So until next time, I've been Aidan Moda. Have a great day wherever you are, and goodbye.